Hi, my name is Dennis Seary. I am Executive Director and founder of the New York City Independent Film Festival, Independent in Spirit, International at Heart, and this is the New York City Independent Film Festival Meet the Filmmakers podcast. Join us while we meet this year's filmmakers. Thank you. Bye bye.
Today we're here with Lauren and Vered. Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us. So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you. Go ahead, Lauren.
Oh, all right. Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren Schaffel. I'm an actor, writer, producer, comedian, and an actor in the film Emotional Logical.
And thank you for joining us. Vered?
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. Yeah, my name is Vered. I am a filmmaker, director, writer. I focus on comedy storytelling and female-driven stories. And now we're gonna show our short film and Emotional Logical in this film festival, and we're super excited. And at the same time, we're working on a few more comedy films, and one of them is a feature. So I'm just really excited about all the upcoming projects and excited to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
No, thank you for joining us. All right. So what made you want to be a filmmaker? How did that come about?
So I have been working in the industry since I was a child. I grew up in Los Angeles. I was a child actor here, working mostly in comedies. A lot of hit sitcoms back in the day, like Will and Grace, and a show called Still Standing. I was the voice of Lucy in several Peanuts films and series. So I've always loved being in front of the camera, especially in comedies. It's just my bread and butter. It makes me happy to make other people laugh. And then more recently, within the last, I guess, couple years now, I've started producing and writing my own work. And I've found it just uses another part of my brain. And I really enjoy that too. This project was such a special project to work on with Vered because Vered is the writer and the director, but she also gave us the gift of being able to improv on set, which is an actor's dream, and also a kind of an actor writer's dream, where you just get to take this wonderful idea and riff and spin and just put it in your own voice and words. And it was really a fun process to do that.
Great. Awesome. And Vera, what made you want to be a filmmaker?
I actually wanted to be an animator all my life. I wanted to work in Disney. My dream was to move to America and work in Walt Disney and be an animator and work in animation. But life took a different direction where I I kind of changed my goal to be in film. And while doing that, I still studied animation. So I was able to do both. But I felt like no matter which direction I take, I felt like comedy is my calling. So even if I went with animation, I'll go with comedy. And even if I go with filmmaking, I'll go with comedy. And I just naturally went more for the filmmaking because at the time, the program I went to study animation was a lot about in front of the computer, and my English was very bad. So I realized that just going out there with cameras and being on set will be a more I will learn more and quicker that way. And I learned so much by just being on set and seeing a lot of people, different productions, different projects. And I still have a big part of my heart for animation, and I'm still getting excited every time a project has animation in it and or drawing in it. And I'm a little bit sad because my friend who works for Pixar just told me how Pixar is laying off a lot of people this week. So it's pretty hard. The industry is going through so much right now. Anyway, back to what I was saying, that I'm just excited because I was always a creator. I was always an artist, but I went to filmmaking because I realized that's a good way for me to express myself and to learn and basically work in a team that I really love, and um, I'm able to to blossom this way.
Great. Okay. In some ways, you both answered this, but I'll ask anyway. How long have you been doing this and how many movies have you made? I guess that's more as a filmmaker rather than acting. But as a filmmaker, how long have you been doing this and how many films have you made?
I worked on the feature films not as a director, but like I helped. I was in different roles on set. But as a director or as a producer, I would say I produced maybe 7 films that are short films produced, and then 4 of them, sorry, 5 of them I've directed. So yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. 6. I directed 6. Oh my God. I directed 6. I produced um overall 8. But they're all short. All of them are short films. So I'm hoping to make the next one feature.
For me, I have written and produced and acted in 2 shorts. I've produced a number of other shorts, just not as a writer as well. So this is the year I'm telling myself of doing it all, of producing and writing and acting and more things. So I'm actually in pre-production right now for the first short that I've also written, produced, and will act in. And I'm excited about that. It's also a musical, so it's a lot of complicated moving parts in there, and it's gonna be fun.
Great. So in some ways, you both also answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have your tribe, your group of people who your support group, where you live? Do you have your group?
For me, it's interesting. My go-to people now span both coasts. I grew up in Los Angeles. I lived in New York for about 16 years because I moved there for college and stayed for a long time. So I'd say my tribe still feels largely based in New York. But I've been in LA for about 2 years, and as I've started to go into pre-production on my own film, it's really cool to see that the communities are really on both coasts, and span from multiple networks, and it ranges from theater communities to fellow filmmakers to people who have skills I didn't even know would be valuable to making a film, like people who are graphic designers and social media managers and choreographers, just kind of cool worlds melding. But yeah, for me, that community spans many places.
Great. And Barry?
Oh, wow. This is a tough question because I feel like I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, I met so many amazing people along the way. But I would say the person who I would go to when I feel disencouraged or stuck, or I guess need a little bit more inspiration, will actually be somebody outside of the film industry. Is my partner, my husband, where he really believes in me. So I feel like very lucky, because I'm able to kind of do what makes me happy because of his support, and because he helped me a little bit to finance one of my films, and he always the one that kind of give me advice about things to do. And every time, I don't know if something is funny or if something works, I show it to him. I show him all the bad cuts and kind of get his reaction and go from there.
Cool.
That
All right. So what made you want to make this film? What made you decide? How did that happen? Making this film.
Oh my God. So first of all, I fell in love with Lauren. It's not every day that you meet such an amazing actress like her. When I saw her, I felt like no matter what, I have to do a movie with this actress, wonderful actress. So one project that I thought about her for, it didn't work out because it was kind of already casted. So then I realized I'm gonna make another film knowing that she's gonna act it. So I kind of wrote it knowing that she's gonna be the lead actress, which doesn't happen a lot for me, that I can already envision an actor when I'm writing something. So that was very beautiful experience to just imagine Lauren doing those lines. Um, but really, I realized I want to push this to see if I can make it something that is an internal dialogue that I have inside of me. Is kind of an argument between my heart and my brain. And if my heart and my brain were arguing, what would it look like? And both of them are having human figure, what would it feel like if they're arguing, but nobody could see it, only us as viewers can see it. So that's where I came from. And also knowing that Lauren could do this, I was feeling confident that I could push it forward. And then knowing that she was happy to improvise, I felt even more comfortable and confident to go for it.
Okay. And when she came to her with the script, what did you think? Were you like, oh yes? Or were you like, oh, should I do this? How was that?
I was all in. It's such an actor's dream to have a writer approach you, a writer and a director approach you and say, "Hey, I wrote this for you in mind." Like that so rarely happens. Um, so much of an actor's life is like auditioning and putting yourself on tape and being told no, or we went with a redhead or whatever it is. So that was just such a blessing. And Baron and I had already been friends and communicators from other projects. So I read the script. We talked about it. I had questions, thoughts, and she's so wonderful in terms of being open to thoughts and collaboration. And then, yeah, we got our other actor, Trey, on board. And from there, I was like, this is going to be a blast.
Yes, that was a beautiful combination. I'm so happy you got in to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So quite often these are the same thing, but what was the hardest part and what was the most fun part making this movie?
Ooh. All right. Well, I know I know for me, the hardest part is, and Varen knows this, it's hard to act opposite yourself. I've never had really an experience like this where you played two of yourself. And we had a stand-in on set, so I had somebody to talk to. But I had moments where I felt like my brain was melting on set, being like, didn't I just say this? Why? Wait, what? What? Who? Which Emily am I right now? And it was definitely an acting challenge. And I appreciate how awesome it came out in the edit too, that it looks very seamless. But I felt a little bit like a split personality on set where I had no idea what's going on. Um, yeah, and then the most fun I think was really collaborating with Trey, our other actor who I've worked with. He's part of my tribe actually in New York, from our theater community called the Barrow Group. So I knew him pretty well. He ended up staying with me when we were shooting, so we had time to like rehearse and run lines and talk about different ways we could approach this and improv, and it was just really fun to do that.
For me, I'd say the most fun part was definitely the improvising part. They surprised me so much. They brought their own lines where I told them, take it this direction, and they brought their own ideas into it. And I always felt like, how cool it would be to, be on set where everything is improvising, like Larry David show or something like that. And I felt like I was able to experience the joy of this improvisation. And I think that's what made the movie even better. The hardest part was for me to communicate as a director. It's my second language, and also because it's comedy, and sometimes it was hard to explain what I'm thinking about. And Lauren and Trey did such a great job helping me to understand what's the intention of the character. And thank God they were very patient with me and helped me walk through this. So thank you.
Right. All right. So this is more of a generic question. So when you do a project, are you happy with that project? You say, okay, that project's put to bed. That child's gone. Or you sit there and look at it and go, someday I'm going to make enough money so I can redo that and fix all my mistakes. What type of filmmaker would you say you were?
Oh my God. Such a great question. Because I actually went through a process of being being the second person to learning that I should be proud of what I made. So yes, I always want to have bigger budget and make it better and have more time to do these things. but at the same time, be proud and appreciative of what you accomplished. And also, I think that because we learn how to make with so much little, then when you one day you get a big budget, you'll be so much more experienced, so much better. And you will have all this hustle and bustle experience. So you be the best to execute that big money and be able to make the movie you want. I've heard, I forgot which director said that if you get 60% of what your vision was, then it's success. And I always feel a little bit disappointed where, oh, I wish it was this way, I wish it was that way, and I wish and I wish and I wish. But also because I'm such an amazing editor, I'm able to save a lot of things.
Yeah, you do.
I'm able to kind of fix it towards the vision I had before, or even better. So I'm actually thankful for being an editor. I'm able to fix what I was failing as a director. I shouldn't say failing, but whatever the challenges were on set, I'm able to fix as an editor. So to your answer, all of the above. I'm kind of everyone you mentioned. I'm also the first person and I'm also the second person. I'm all of them together.
Lauren.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna find out in this next project I'm working on. Um I tend to be pretty like type A, so I sometimes I'm like I do have a very tight vision I want to see, both as a writer, actor, producer. But I think it's also part of the fun of it and the unknown and the challenges. Like you don't really know how things are going to turn out till they come out of the editing room. So also being open and flexible to like, oh wow, I'd never thought of the scene going this way, but that's actually really cool too. So I think yeah, it's a bit of a learning process for me right now to kind of figure that out, but I'm excited. And I will say with this particular film, Emotional Logical, the vision that ended up on the screen was very similar to the vision that Vered articulated when we talked about this project. So I think she did an amazing job of really honing in on exactly the framing she needed, the exact having two, the doubles on the screen, perfect synchronizing. She did an awesome job.
Thank you.
All right. So this is also a generic question. We all know that in the indie film world, we're not going to become rich. We're not going to pull a Taylor Swift and fly around the world in our private jets or have yachts or anything. So what does success look like in the indie film world?
It's less about like, oh, this film is going to get distributed on whatever platform. That's awesome. But for me, that's not really the end goal. I think for me, the successful indie film world is you meet a lot of cool people along the way. So for your next project that's kind of incubating, you're like, oh, I have two directors I could reach out to. I met this awesome DP, a producer. I love like the social aspect of it.
Mhm.
And I love personally going to these film festivals and hearing people's reactions in real time, especially in comedy. Changes so much when people laugh, what they're responding to. That to me is worth like $100,000,000 when people laugh and appreciate your film. So I think my goal, at least for projects, is to do that, to get people to respond, to share their film with their networks, that have the film, even if it's just streaming on, TikTok or YouTube or whatever it is for a bit, Vimeo. I love that. I want to try to share and build my network as much as I can.
I agree. I think for me, a real success will be if audience, so especially in comedy, if I made room full of audience laugh, then to me it's success. Of course, I would like to make money too, but in comedy, if everybody laugh, then we achieve what we wanted. That would be a beautiful gratification. I forgot the word. Yeah, gratification. Yes, that I feel like this is a big indication if it's successful or not, because laughter, you can't really fake it. It's either happening or not. And also with this film, I was able to kind of see what kind of reaction of people I'm getting. So I was really happy that people were laughing at it. I thought that was not something I took for granted. So yeah, I would say success for independent filmmaking for me personally would be if I was able to make a room full of people laugh, and also if word of mouth people want to watch more and more, and then yeah, it'll be amazing if it can actually go to like a big festival. I'm not saying about this specific movie, I'm saying about any independent filmmaking, any film that go to a big film festival and being purchased by something. I guess that would be, I would say, also a success as well. Yeah.
So somebody comes along and goes, hi, Aunt Lauren. Hi, Aunt Verda. I'm going to be a filmmaker just like you. What would you say to them? What would be your advice?
Go and find rich people. No, I'm joking.
Marry a rich husband. Marry a rich
Yeah,
wife.
true that.
It's not about them, because everything costs a lot of money, unfortunately. But no, it's actually not about the money. It's about finding the right team, and that's it's not easy, because it's just you need a lot of money to make movies. And even if it's a short film that is you get a lot of favors, you still need to spend money to make it happen good. It's definitely cheaper than what it used to be in the past. But so if you don't have a lot of money, at least if you have a good team and people that believe in you. So I'd say go to a lot of events, go to help on other people's projects, go to meet as many filmmakers as you can, listen to podcasts, like learn. You need to kind of open up to every opportunity, and then kind of like find your own voice, and just shoot what you want to shoot. Like, even if you think it sucks, who cares? Just do it, and then you'll fix it in post. No, I'm joking. Don't fix it. But just do it. You will figure it out. Just even if it's really bad, shoot it anyway, because you'll learn from it, and that's priceless. That's bigger than going to film school. That's bigger than anything.
I guess just adding on to the just do it sentiment. I I don't know. I'm learning as I go, like just even shooting stuff on your iPhone for practice, especially like young filmmakers, right? Just don't be afraid. Write stuff and film it with a couple friends, and then maybe you start to build, you find somebody who has a better camera and you start to, try stuff out. Don't be afraid to just put stuff out there, even if it stinks the first few times. Nobody really has to see it. But it's just good to get as much as experience as possible so that when you're on a set with professional filmmakers, indie filmmakers, you know what you're doing. You've kind of gone through the trenches a little bit, and it doesn't all feel so overwhelming.
Okay, great. That's it for my questions. You have anything you want to say? Any feedback or anything?
I'd say thank you so much for having us. We can't wait. I'm definitely going to be at the screening. I can't wait to be there, and it's an honor for us. And I also want to say, Lauren and I met on a table read for my feature film, and even looking at my feature film, where I don't see the fruits just yet. I only see the hard work, and I don't see the fruits, but the actual fruits are on the journey and the people I meet because of that film. And because of that film, I met Lauren. So the film hasn't happened yet, but I met so many people because of the journey of trying to make this film. And this is a feature one that I'm working on. So I also wanted to say this is a battle to enjoy the journey and not just think about the outcome. I just wanted to say that, and Lauren and my friendship with her and the collaboration with her is a fruit of the journey for my feature film. And thank you for creating this short film with me, because I've learned so much from you, Lauren. And thank you so much, Dennis, for having us at your film
Thank you
festival.
for sending it in. I wouldn't have a festival if people didn't send in their movies.
Thank you so much. Thank you. No, Lauren.
Yeah, no, just echoing. Thank you so much for having us as part of this festival. I'm really bummed I can't be there to see the film in the festival, but I'm hoping somebody will just take a recording of the audience so I can hear if people laugh or not. That will be everything.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. I'll bring
Woo!
a lot of friends, that's for sure. I'm gonna bring some friends. So.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for joining us, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.